Good evening.
Evening, Clayton. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, I was busy. I think I'm going to start cutting hay tomorrow. So hey,
oh man, you're getting after it already, huh?
Got to get her done. It's starting to get the blooms. That's okay. I don't really like it when it's in full blooming. So
yeah, blooming. You get a blooming idiot then, or what?
Yeah, blooming. Oops, I got some backbeat here. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Hey, Eric. Good evening. Eric and his family joined us last night celebrating Leighton's 16th birthday. So
16, huh? Man, happy birthday, Leighton.
Getting tall and getting biceps like a crazy.
Yeah, well, I already called them biceps. They're only going to get bigger.
That seems like it. So, Waylon, good evening. Waylon, one shot. David says amazing. I'm guessing he's talking about my sister there that was singing. That's my sister doing the national.
She does do a hell of a job on that.
I guess getting dinged because of copyrights. I guess to piss on them. We got something better now. So. And I definitely got permission.
Yeah. Oh, we found out right before the show. I guess I'm going to be joining Michael Bell tomorrow at 10 o'clock for.
Yeah, I seen you did that, so thank you, because I really didn't have time. But Michael's going to think that I'm avoiding him, but I'm not. It's hand season, man.
I'll just go in about a half hour early tomorrow, and then I'll make up for that. I got a few things tomorrow. I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. Finally, it doesn't look like it's that long, but underneath this little Angry Man Arms cap, it's pretty shaggy. Shaggy
like
DA.
That damn hippie. What are you talking about? Hey, thanks for joining, everybody. I see there's people over there in Rumble. Thanks for coming in on there. X, of course, is leading the way here, of course. And thanks for coming. It's a beautiful night, so it's tough to sit and watch TV. I wouldn't want to be doing it right now, but here we are.
Whatever. Why sit and watch TV or watch us, man? You don't have to watch, Clay. You can listen.
Just listen, right? Hey, Josh, good to have you on. I see Josh got himself a little present he bought himself.
Yeah, he did. It's in the 6'5" category there. Not Creed, not a Creed,
nope, not a Creed. We're not gonna tell anybody either. They can guess. Or go check the video out.
Yeah. Where does he got it on? Does he got it on Facebook and all that? I know.
I don't know. It's on our message board. If you're part of Guns on the 701 and Messenger, it's on there. So.
Yep. I did see that. I saw that. I think he put it on Snapchat. You're not on Snapchat though, are you, Cliff?
No, I'm lucky I'm on here. So.
Yeah. There's enough shit on.
Let's get this baby started here. We probably should start on some of them other ones, but. The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be.
Right on. Right. I mean, some people think they can, which we're going to find out shortly here, right?
Well, they try it, don't they? Hey, Tom, good to have you on. Tom chimed in earlier in Messengers. Yeah, you can grab it on YouTube. So there he is.
Awesome.
Josh says, post it to your channel. We'll work on that then, Josh. So we are going to be revamping. I think we told you that before. So the website might be going down next week, possibly, for a little bit of a revamp. We'll see. I think we need to update it. Not that it's bad. It's just we need to do some updates. We need to do it and feature things that have changed in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
We're coming up on 3 years here.
Yeah, sometime in August there. That's when it hits, right?
Yeah, somewhere in there. So thank you, everybody, for the support, because it's pretty cool, really. So I can tell you that right now we got brand new elected GOP chairman Matt Simons. He's going to be joining us next week right here on Guns in the 701. You want to join in on that? And of course, I know Matt. You know Matt. He's a heck of a good guy. He's definitely a patriot. I was so happy to see that he beat Shane Commie Perry Gettle. Can't stand Shane Gettle. Can't stand Perry Schaefer, and good riddance. And to see that happen was just that was a big win for everybody, whether you like the ND GOP or not. They are the party in charge. Trust me, this was a huge victory. And then Paul Henderson's the vice chair. It don't get any better than that. So
I don't know him, but I do know Matt. Talked to Matt several times.
Who knows? Maybe I'll engage again. I was so frustrated, and I felt my time was better served somewhere else. When you're fighting a battle, we're making progress, and then it gets kind of tore apart. It's like, you know what? Let's let the younger guys take lead, and I did, and they're doing good.
Yeah. I'm doing our part right here. And of course, a week after that, Clay, July 2nd, the Great American Outdoor Show, baby, right here. Governor Kelly Armstrong and our good friend Scott Bachmeyer going to be on. So that should be a fun show. And like I say, if you're out camping, you can get us there on your website there and put it on your speaker on your camper and sit there and enjoy some adult bevies and have a good time listening to the show.
Yeah.
Evening, Dan. How you doing, buddy?
Absolutely. Hey, Dan, over there by the Dickinson area in the western part of North Dakota. Glad to have you on here. But anyway, like I told Matthew, and I know I'm going to visit with him on the show next week, and as you are. And I told him, I said, I want to see where they're going to go with Second Amendment, as a priority within the party. It's in the platform. Okay.
There. Right. You go right in there. They got a big sign right in there with all of it on the party platform.
And I know that a lot of talk within the party is making and basically holding these legislators true to the platform. And I agree. And Matthew will. Trust me, Matthew will follow the platform. Getting everybody else to do it, trust me, that's a mountain, not a hill. That's freaking, it's McKinley.
Hey, speaking of that, I got a picture from fellow MVE Brian Warner. It looks like him and Mama Joe are up in Alaska. Sent me a picture of Mount McKinley. I thought it was like an AI generated picture. It was so clear and unbelievable. But he's like, no, that's a real picture. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I would love to see that in person. Actually, I really don't have a hankering to go to Alaska, but I saw that picture and I was like, that
actually
is awesome.
Alaska's on my bucket list. It is. I have not been up there yet. It's one of the states I haven't been to, and I want to get up there. But Nell and I have talked about taking a cruise. They have hop on a ship and you head that way, do a whole big thing. So
I know a few people who've done that.
I think it'd be kind of fun. But I told her, I said, if I'm going up there, I know a couple people up there. I'm going fishing and I'm going hunting. If I'm going up to Alaska, I'm going to have a hunting and a fishing trip somewhere.
Most of the people I know went up there went fishing, and they said it was pretty awesome.
If you have never had, I got it as fresh as I could get it. Friends of mine went up there. They went halibut fishing, caught some, and they shipped it to my house. They made sure they planned it so that they were flying back in here. I picked them up in Bismarck, and it arrived the day before they got there right at my place. So it don't get much fresher than that. And we had halibut steaks. That was fantastic.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
That's about as fresh as we can get it here.
Yeah.
But,
well, Clay, if anybody's wondering what we got going here tonight, first thing we're going to go up, Democrats, Clayton, figure suppressors are nothing but people don't use it for anything but crime and murder, and we'll just add one in there, poaching, if they actually knew anything about that, right? And then, of course, we got our poll, Clay. We'll bring the numbers up, which kicked ass on X. Appreciate everybody getting in there on X. Yep. It was slow right away. And then at 270 versus 308. The article title was "What's a better hunting cartridge?" What it was, right, Clay? But I thought it was more like an all-around head-to-head thing, and we'll see who won the poll on that. Clay's a big 270 guy. I'm not. I mean, I love 308s. So I don't have one anymore, but I do love 308s. So we'll go through the list he has there, the comparisons, and then we got the mag dumps going on. Cheers to you, Waylon. He's got the NRA Rough Riders. Waylon Turnus here. Listen.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll hit that in our mag dumps, and then of course the happy ending chronicles. So it should be a good show. Looking for everybody to get their 2 cents worth in, and we get them guns going. But we got a lot of stupid things that Democrats have said here recently, Clay, about Schumer. Schumer and our boy Chris Murphy are the two main culprits on this one, right?
Imagine that. Right? Imagine that. Schumer, that guy. What the hell, New York? Really? I mean, even the far left. You got to be really freaking
man, and they win easily all the time. They win easily.
All the time.
So I'll start it off here, Clay. Something our pal Chucky Schumer said. Thank God, not the Senate Majority Leader anymore. So he claimed, Clay. He got this here from the NRA. Schumer claimed the only people who want silencers are criminals, and that most gun owners, if he had to guess, Clay, if smart old Chuck Schumer had to guess, don't support the removal of suppressors from the NFA. I can tell you, Chucky, pretty much every gun owner I know supports the removal of it from the NFA.
Yeah. Well, we know what Schumer's like. Schumer, he hasn't found a piece of gun control legislation that he hasn't loved.
Yeah.
He don't care what it is. If it infringes on mine,
he loves it,
and everybody else's, he's all for it. But not for him. I mean, remember, he's an elitist.
So, Clay, all right, well, let's go through Chris Murphy's one here. You want to hit what our boy Murphy said here?
Yeah, well, old Senator Chris Dumbass Murphy, Democrat, he basically was railing against the House Republican efforts, of course, and then everybody else is trying to remove the NFA regulations. But some of the things he says, I mean, it's just silencers are tools of killers. This is in Murphy's.
Yeah, I kill animals with mine all the time.
They're tools of criminals, period. Stop. Then he didn't stop there. No, he kept building on, you got to remember, Democrats always set a narrative. They give usually fake information, but being they said it, they build on that as if it's gospel. So they keep going. And he said, basically calls Congress to stop the mass legalization of silencers in the country and praised Chuck Schumer, who we just talked about, for his fight against the Republican efforts to deregulate the suppressors. Later, he wasn't done. Murphy described suppressors as devices that are primarily designed for crime. Schumer offered the based on Hollywood take. Yeah, that's a good source. That suppressors completely eliminate the sound of a gunshot, rendering firearms silent.
The only time he's ever been around them is watching them on TV, but yet he's there trying to regulate your right to own them and use them.
Well, I like the notation here they put in here that on May 31st, 2019, a man attacked innocents in Virginia Beach using a handgun suppressor. And according to MSNBC, not exactly our friend, right? And the Washington Post, they reported both that witnesses said that they kept hearing gunshots.
Yeah.
What? Wait.
I remember that story. I was a guy who had the 45. I don't know if it was a 1911 or a Glock or whatever, but he went into the 45 and he had it on. And then, they said they called the cops. They heard gunshots. And they asked her about it with one of the gals, and she said, well, I knew it was a gun, but it sounded more like an air nailer. And she said there wasn't any construction going on in here. So,
I mean, you, me, anybody who's listening to this knows they're not silent. It's a suppressor.
So
that's why it's not silent.
Who's the guy again who designed them, Clay? Maxim?
Maxim, and made some for
I don't remember him saying, I've made this product primarily for you to go out and commit crimes with. Silencer Co., Yankee Hill, none of these companies, Lane LLC, none of them. There's nowhere I've heard them say or anywhere on their website or any of their stuff that says, we've primarily designed these for crime.
Yeah. And Dougie, Mama said, little water. If you haven't seen the water boy, go watch it.
She showed me her breasts, and I like them too.
do. Yeah.
This is the Water Boy, right?
It's great. Great movie, yeah, The Water Boy. Lynette,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to some of these. Lynette says, "Yeah, I remember the first show. We have an Alaska cruise on our bucket list. Hey, Dougie, sounds like you're going on a trip." So, Gene, hey, good to have you. He says, Gene says, Schumer put cheese on a raw burger patty.
Absolutely clueless to reality in the common man.
Yes. Gene Cox, do you remember the assault weapons ban debate back in '96? M1s and M1As were the choice of gangsters and drug dealers. I do. It's just like, remember Saturday Night
Revolvers.
Specials? I believe that was what?
In the 25.
I think that was late 80s.
I think it was early 80s. I mean, before I was even a big, Second Amendment guy, and I was a freaking teenager. I knew that what they were doing there.
It probably started in the later 70s. Even Charlie Daniels had a song out there. Not that he was at that gun. He had that whole song that talked about Saturday Night Special. That's what they're referring to. And those were horrible. Got to ban them all. Got to ban all of them.
Remember, I told you not long, a couple weeks ago, Charlie Daniels is NRA country artist. His favorite gun was a freaking 308 DPMS.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, guys like him and Hank Williams Jr., Kid Rock, if you want to, Kid Rock's a big supporter of the Second Amendment. I mean, a lot of these stars that sing in different genres, they do love the Second Amendment. You just don't.
So the M1 there, I was gonna say, M1A actually. There's a show coming out with Jason Statham, the martial arts guy, and I think in real life he's kind of a badass. I think he actually knows how to fight in real. But anyways, he's got a show.
I've seen his movie.
Yeah, he's got a show coming out called Common Man, and guess what movie he uses? I think he to go rescue his niece or something from a bunch, I think cartel guys or something. But guess what his gun is?
Oh,
yeah, M1A 7.62x5.1, which we're gonna be talking about shortly here.
Yeah. I do have one, by the way. I got, I got.
Clay's down. We got the A-team, Mini 14 back there
right.
too.
Right in that area, right there.
I did.
That's great, but mine's a stainless.
I broke down. I bought a couple guns from our man, Little Angry Arms here earlier this week. So I won't tell anybody what it is quite yet, but you'll know. They're nothing special, but they are two of my favorite guns and not expensive, but.
Hey, they don't have to be.
Yeah, they're gonna be nice and quiet when I shoot them. I can tell you that. But, so,
you talk about the whole suppressor thing, and that's the problem. You have Democrats who their ideology says, nope, anything with guns, suppressors, second, nope, we just can't remove any, and they won't even listen to anything. And that's what they do. They watch movies. They have no real life experience, most of them. Take Gabby Gifford. She got shot in the head, not by a conservative.
Jared Laffer, big guy, big supporter of the Democrat Party there in Arizona.
That's right. It's always by people with a mental problem. They're always from the Democrat Party. You want a solution, Democrats? Let's ban them from Democrats. Yeah. There we go.
Perfect. Any registered Democrat, right? I'm in.
Turn them all in.
We can get the votes to tell them. Turn them all in. It'll die fight. Oh.
Yep.
That's Clay. Do you know what? Do you have any friends who own a suppressor that are a criminal that aren't legally allowed to own guns that you know of? I don't either.
That I know of.
And that's what old Schumer and what's his.
We're talking illegal.
I'm talking illegal.
No. Yeah, no, I don't have any.
I don't know. Not one friend of mine who owns them is a criminal. I mean, if you go by the NEEK's background check, they can all buy a suppressor, which hopefully is going to happen here.
I'm telling you, the Senate even strengthened it, by the way.
We'll talk a little bit. They did strengthen it. And, of course, we got a few Republicans who want to fucking shoot everybody in the foot and piss and moan about this little pissant ish. Like I said before, nobody looks at the big goddamn picture here, which they should. Hopefully they get their head out of their ass. Because, hey, if our Second Amendment rights don't get expanded, Clay, you know who's the ones who stopped it? The goddamn Republicans did. I usually don't blame them for nothing, but it is going to be on them. And whoever it is, if it does it right, they didn't blame them hard enough
in Trump's first term. But yep, David says, I support the removal of suppressors from the NFA. I also support the $200 income tax rebate for every
100%. Should have got that. That was in the.
You know, here's how I look at all this. Throw the book in there, right? That's your bargaining chips. I know how this works too. You and I we've discussed this how many times. And I remember when I worked for the NRA, we asked for the moon, but we knew we'd settle here all along. Because when you're dealing with the other side who has dug in as hard as you are, you got to ask big, and but you got to have a realistic of where you will actually be this year. And then you come back the next year. And then you come back. I mean, it took us over 10 years to get reciprocity.
See,
and almost that long to get constitutional carry.
You know, Clay, and I still, just today, I was looking on American Suppressor Association's Facebook page and X page and these, you know, the guns doc, and there's still shitheads on there. Just get rid of the whole fucking NFA. And I'm like, would you guys shut the fuck up? Do you even know what you're talking about? You know, yeah, it is a great idea, but that's not how it freaking was put into effect, and that's not how you're going to get rid of the NFA, you dipshits. Well, if you can't get it all, fuck it, I won't even support it. Well, then you're a goddamn idiot because you get nothing.
And you can't get it through, and the reconciliation bill can't do it.
Right.
Okay. It's against their, their stupid rules. I didn't say they're all great, but that's what they have to abide by.
Go ahead, Clay.
Now, you want to get rid of it, get active. You don't
sit on your hands in midterms.
Keyboard. Start getting rid of the people, the Republicans. We know what the Democrats are going to do. So if you have a state where the Republican will not support the repeal of an NFA, total NFA repeal in Congress on a standalone bill, you need to get rid of them, not me. It's your state. Ours are fine. They're gonna support something like that because they won't have a choice. But
I'm not worried about Hoeven and Kramer. I can tell you that.
No, I'm not. I'm not even.
Julie already voted for. Like I said, Julie's voted for every single thing Trump's wanted. So,
absolutely. So, you guys can sit there and be keyboard warriors and say it's not enough. It's not enough. This is what we can get, and this is how we did this unconstitutional. You look how far we've come
from the late 80s, Clay, till now.
I've been involved in,
did we get it all in one? Did we get it? No, because early 90s, it was going the wrong way, and it's been going up ever since.
Big time. Yeah. In fact, even during Clinton, we
made restoration of rights, not
much.
not expanding, restoration of Second Amendment rights.
Because after he lost in the midterms and lost the House and the Senate, he
that was rigged.
Start compromising. Yeah. But when you look at how far and fast forward to 2000, the leaps and bounds we made right there, and I'm telling
you, NRA for that sunset.
I was gonna say NRA is the one that made that happen. They put it in there, and if it wouldn't have been for the NRA saying yes, this is our point.
Making deals like shit gets done, Clay. I mean, it sounds like shit, and I hate it, but
deals. And it sucked. Even the NRA knew it sucked. It about split the NRA. But without the sunset, we'd still have the assault weapons ban today. But they were insistent on that. And then they let their pro-gun Democrat and Republicans, because I've said this before, that bill was going to pass with or without the Republicans at that point. Because they had the votes. And that's one thing Democrats do, unlike our party. They stick together.
Yep.
So they mitigated the damage, and they put a sunset in there, and it did. It sunsetted. It went away. It sucked.
Pay attention, Rat Paul. Get your head out of your ass. And this other bozo now, I can't remember what his name is there or not.
Oh, there's a few of them, but I think that's why you've seen what happened in the Senate coming out of that finance committee. We're kind of getting off of where we started, but it's part of the game, unfortunate, you have to play. I think they're putting it all in there, and I think they're going to make some headway because I don't think you're going to be able to pick up some of the Republicans you need.
I think it's going to come down to Vance casting because some of these guys are going to act like I can't stand it if we didn't cut enough spending. It sucks, but that's not how it's going to work. I listened. I can't remember the guy today, David Hansen. I think he's like, you guys got to look 10 years down the goddamn. Obviously, he didn't say he's more well spoken than me, but you're not going to cut spending immediately. This is a down the road thing here, you guys. And you're not going to just come in there and freaking slice it down. And we're going to pre-COVID, and that's where it's freaking. I mean,
I'll put it to you this way right now with this bill. Whether you people, anybody listening, like this or not, this bill is going to pass. Okay, they've bet the
There's
farm
a ton
on
of
this
freaking
bill
awesome shit in there
at
for
every
America,
level.
Clay.
So to me, I look at, yeah, I'd love to see more cuts in the spending. I want to see them cuts made. Maybe we'll get them. I don't know. This, though, let me remind you, we've never had cuts at this size since I can remember.
Well, it's barely making a dent,
just
Clay, so it ain't even worth it.
And not just but this time it's not just a cost cut, saying, okay, rather than spending 100 million, we're going to spend, we're going to 25% of 100 million less, even though it's going to be 50 million more. It's actually a rate of decrease in spending. And that I can never remember that happening. It's
obviously it's thousands of pages, but guess what? There's things in this bill that actually reel into these damn district judges who are stopping Trump from doing what a president's rightfully able to do. So I mean, they're.
I'll put it to you this way: the strides that are going to probably be seen in affecting NFA items. I mean, I'm talking. These are miles. We've never had it this close. And I'm right now, I'm for the bill. I want them to pass it because of the Second Amendment provisions in it, the way they are, and it's the closest we're going to get. But once we get it, now we can move on. So
Clay, let me ask you this. You've probably paid attention to politics longer than I have. Have you ever seen one of these bills come through and you're like, yes, 100%, that is the greatest bill I ever seen. I want everybody to vote for it. Have you ever seen anything close to that?
Well, I mean, I'm
saying like one of these spending bills, like reconciliation. No, there's never been anything where, yes, I think Clay, the other Clay there on 550 in the afternoons, he was making a great thing on this. He's like, you don't come home and agree with your freaking wife on everything. You think you're going to get all these people in the Senate and the House to agree on everything that easily? He's like, but it's got to pass. It's just the way and there's so many positive things, and if the mega agenda doesn't pass, and you're going to piss, all the voters are going to be deflated and pissed, and guess what? Come midterms, they're not going to show up and vote. The Democrats get control again. Trump's out in 2 more years. A Democrat, Shapiro or whatever, butters up these dipshits. 10 million illegals are still here. Guess what happens, Clay? Because we didn't have money to deport them all. They're going to they're going to give them amnesty, and then you're never going to get anything you want ever again, because them commie fuckers are going to be in control.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you right now, what we did when we were working on the other types of gun legislation, and I was primarily at the state level, let's just face it, South Dakota, North Dakota, we knew what we could get. But we wanted the votes. We wanted to have the votes even if we were going to lose. This always pisses me off when I'm talking to our legislators up here and be like, well, it's not going to pass anyway. But put them on the record. And then 100%. We use those records when we go talk to our membership and go, listen, you keep telling me that this guy's good, but here's his votes. He says one thing. We did that. How the hell do you think we got rid of Daschle? We took his voting record. We made him vote. We made him make them hard votes, and he'd vote against us. And we were able, that was, I don't know if anyone remembers this, that dog don't hunt, one of the most successful NRA campaigns in the state of South Dakota. I mean, we trounced this guy, and then the ag group started getting on there, and all the other groups were like, hey, that's a good strategy. And it piled on Daschle. And then the result was, bye-bye, Daschle. A sitting majority leader in the Senate was defeated. Yeah,
that was an amazing defeat right there for sure.
So I was involved with that one big time. And I remember I was in Rapid City sitting at the Republican Party down there because we thought we felt good going in that night. We knew we were going to lose the House of Representatives, that candidate, because nobody could beat Stephanie Herseth, and everyone voted for her because she was hot, I guess. That was the most common comment.
I mean, but anyway, the thing.
We were focused on Daschle, and we beat Daschle.
He's not hot.
Knew it. See, in South Dakota, we watched those polls start closing, and we were in the lead before we crossed the river that night. And that's when you win. It was statistically impossible for him to make a comeback, and we just kept piling on and piling. In fact, I was happy here in Corson County. We lost, but I was able to help narrow that to a single-digit percentage rather than double-digit. That's a huge thing in the overall thing, because you have a popular vote. And I mean, we counted all them reservations. We had dropped a lot of them down to, low double digits or even single digits. That had
Mhm.
never been done. And we did work the reservations hard. That's when I was young and had a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
cared,
people do when they're
I got
younger.
really involved.
All right, I'm gonna get to some of these comments, Clay, and then we're gonna do our break and come back. So
Yes.
Josh says, I like inexpensive guns. I got a couple used ones coming soon. I'll send pics when I get them. Lynette says, Newsmax
nice.
said 2 million illegals are on Medicaid. That's part of the big, beautiful bill to cut funding for the. Exactly. Well, if you're not going to cut it for everybody, then screw it. I don't even want you to support it.
Well, and by the way, any of you who are on Medicare, that's not the same. I had to explain this to my neighbor last week because he was afraid all these cuts he's going to see. I was like, you're not going to lose anything. This is for illegals on Medicaid, okay? Medicaid, illegals.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking. It's
not immigrants, illegal aliens.
Illegal.
Tom Donaldson says, I listen to Clay and Buck as much as possible. Jesse Kelly is good as well. Yeah, I listen to Jesse Kelly a lot in the evenings. He's actually Jesse Kelly's
Kelly, yeah.
He's freaking awesome. I do like
half the time I'm bailing when he's on later in the day, and I love
he's got a good show. If you never heard him, he's on 7 to 10, I think, right, on KFYR. Catch that on.
Yep.
I mean,
and if we can get Todd on board, maybe we can get on there in that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, maybe you guys should text Todd and tell him you need to hear a little GAT701 podcast on there Sunday morning.
The replay, absolutely. They just take ours
because he ain't just going to listen to me and Clay. He needs a little prodding.
That's right. Hey, Gene Cox. Yeah, so he said Jankel did not help the Republicans with him killing a man,
blowing through a stop sign.
That didn't. Yeah, I remember Jankel. I ain't gonna go in that tonight. He was the guy we were battling on some of these gun bills, and
wild man, Jankel
went down there. We did the work, and then the son of a bitch took credit for it when he started running for the House of Representatives. So anyway, all right, we probably better go and thank our great sponsors. We can't do it without them, and let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. Oh, you know what? I still have one in there that shouldn't be in there.
You're getting a bone.
That one.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
All right, we are back. And like right now, Bloodline is not a sponsor again, but we're working on something, so we'll see where that goes. But just so everybody knows that Bloodline is not sponsoring the show right now. Nope. Put your mic down.
Appreciate that, Clayton.
Yes.
All right, so we got, like I talked about earlier in the show, we got 270 versus 308. It was actually an article by Craig Boddington here in Field and Stream. Which one is a better hunting load? But he kind of went through a whole litany. To me, it was more of a which one's better overall, Clay, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were looking for better, but and I
made it in the.
It was more.
Yeah, I like the one you had there too. That was pretty good. I read. I purposely made the poll kind of vague because I didn't want to make it about a hunting caliber. It's just, and you will see what we mean when we start getting into the article here about how it was more of a head-to-head, which one's better thing. So, Clay, you got any of those poll ones up? Or you want me to whip them up here on the old? Okay.
Yep, I can
okay. So hey,
I was doing a little on here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll give you the Twitter poll first. Here's a Twitter.
Woo, look at that. Which one is better, 270 or 308? The 308 came in 69.2%, 270 Winchester 30.8. 489 people saw it, but only 26 voted. So appreciate you.
Yeah, come on, you looked at it.
Right. So yeah, the 308 kicked serious ass on this one.
I wasn't surprised with that. I really wasn't. The 308's a popular, and there's nothing wrong with a 308. Don't get me wrong. 30 caliber bullets, you can push it fast. I'm a 270 guy, mostly probably because I've built a good load for it. It shoots real flat. I pretty much can take any of the game I want. And I know when I was reading these articles, they're talking about the 150 grain bullets and 130. I shoot 130 mostly, but they do have 180s. And I've got some loads when I went on some bigger hunts. That's what I loaded. They're slow, but I didn't need to have distance. I was in the mountains. I just need to be
so what the folks on Facebook give us there in that poll, Clayton?
Facebook, they came up here with
kind of almost the complete opposite there of, right? So we basically we got about a 50-50 split, really, in percentages.
Which is what, when you think about it, that's pretty much what I figured out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we had 16 or something, 17 votes on Facebook. So.
Yeah, I guess, you know what? I can go look it up.
I
can find it. We had, I don't have.
Oh, shit, that jumped up then. Okay, appreciate that. All right, thanks, Facebook.
Only 3 votes.
Way to go. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's get into it here, Clay. Let's 270 Winchester. He's kind of got a little bit of history on it here. First came out in 1925, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be 100.
Yeah, and still kicking ass. Actually, I think I told you, didn't I tell you that I was watching a deal on YouTube, a big hunting show on there, and the number one thing the guys said they use for hunting is their 270. So,
and I do. I'm a 270. I got a 30-06, which we all know that's pretty much what the 270 is based off of. And I've got a 308.
And I mean, I don't
like them all.
Somebody will piss people off. I can't stand the 30-06. I've hated the 30-06 since I was a kid. I don't give a shit if it won World War II. If I was a 308 in the M1, it would have still kicked ass. Well, I can't. I'm not a 30-06.
Think about it. The 30-06 was. We did a whole thing about that when the 30-06 beat
loud ass mule kicking.
They wanted a 30 round or a 30 caliber. Otherwise, I forget what round they came up with before that. I have to go back and review that. But it was actually a better round. But the 30-06 won it. So that's how. And then everybody came back from war, and what'd they have? 30-06.
Yeah, which, you know what? I mean,
Team says Boddington was an 8mm mag.
Yeah, he definitely wrote a lot of shit about 8mm. So yeah, it came out offering Winchester's model 54 bolt action. Quickly became popular because it shot flatter than the 30-06, recoiled less, and killed critters just as dead.
Well, remember, this was 1925, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it blows my mind that this was 1925. I mean, I've said it before on here. Our forefathers and ancestors invented some freaking awesome things.
You look at this. You were pushing these bullets. It was a 17.5 degree shoulder, which that made it really nice, easy loading. Like it's a 277 is actually the caliber of that. But I mean, when you start thinking about what they were doing in 1925,
it's unbelievable, really.
There's 3,000 feet. There's some of them where, I mean, I'm telling you, that was quite a feat, really.
Absolutely.
I thought they did.
Yeah, I mean, and to this day, I mean, for that pushing that bullet at that velocity, it's still kicking out. Boddington says, as far as he's concerned, the 270 win is the best thing the 30-06 ever gave us.
Yeah, I remember when you did a whole thing about that.
So he says you got the projectiles. He figures best off 130, 140 grainers going around 3,000. That'll kill deer, elk, and moose. Most Americans definitely won't shoot, so I'll never shoot a moose, actually. Plenty of factory loads available for it. He says it's only detractors that it's a long action.
And that, honestly, I don't know.
I had a 300 Win Mag. I didn't, you pull that back a little further, but as far as 308 here, he says 308 gets it done on big game. One time many believed the 150 grain 30 cal bullet was all you needed for big game hunting. Shit, as far as I'm concerned, that is all you need. You don't even need that, really. But why? Why? Because that was the original loading for the 30-06 Springfield. And introduced in 1952, the Winchester Model 70.
27
years. And
later.
88 lever action. That was their big, turned out some big craze. I mean, I wasn't around then, obviously, and a semi-automatic Model 100. 308, he says, dizzyingly popular in short order, Clay.
Yeah. Again, it was pretty flat shooting versus the 30-06 is not a flat shooting gun. Let's just face it.
I mean, most people I know shoot a 30-06, shoot a 150 grainer too. So,
yeah, I shoot a 150 grain in my 308s.
And the FMJ, the 762 by 51, I think like FMJ in the military is 147 grainer. If correct me if I'm wrong. So Dougie says some of us are used to long actions.
Yeah, some of us.
Maybe that's why I like maybe that's why I like 308s, man. It's just that average freaking action, man.
Remember. Hey, Doug, we saw you run through the garage. You know
through the house, screaming and hollering.
Anyway, we'll
all right, Clay. Let's go a little head to head here. How do these two stack up against each other?
Yep.
And this is where he says we're going to get out. There's many ways to compare them, and Clay and I are going to look at them here. So,
just a second there. Gene put it up here. That's right. 276 Peterson challenged a 30-06 for the U.S. Armory. I remember we did a whole thing about that. And
remember the jungle fighters over in New Guinea or whatever had the 276 Peterson. It was kind of like the M1 Garand, kind of, sort of.
Surprised
that 270 Clayton.
Well, there we go. Oh, that's a new gap.
All right. Hey, if Bloodline gets back on, maybe you can invent one of those. All right.
Yeah,
all right. Let's go. Let's start out head to head here, Clay. Let's go through his list. And he's got a winner of each round here. I think we got 4 or 5 rounds, and then he's going to give us his opinion of who the winner is of these two. So he says, with factory ammo, the 308 has the advantage with the wider selection of more diverse munitions than the 270. Democrats made me hate that word, but that's fine. Oh, well, listen to this, Clay, right here, baby. Next to the 223 and the 6.5 Creed, which I'm a God's cartridge and the 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm a big fan of both. The 308 is the most popular centerfire rifle cartridge worldwide. I mean, I don't know if he's right there though. The 7.62 by 3.9. Is it more? Are they more? I think maybe in the United States, but worldwide, I'm calling bullshit.
I think bullshit worldwide on that. I mean, we all know that the AK-47 is the most.
That's number one in my, and I
in
think
the
number two,
world.
and we did it. I think the 223 was number 2 worldwide, 5.5622.
Yes,
but in America, it's number one center fire by far is God's cartridge, the 223 Remington.
So does that make the 308?
Yes, it does actually. Yeah.
Right-handed guy.
Yes. I like your thinking there, Clay. I think you're right.
Oh my goodness.
I think you're right.
There, now I'm going to be in trouble.
So, because of that, the variety of animals you can hunt with the 308, there are more factory loads available for it than any other.
And think about why. The military.
Right.
And they need variety, and it loads good. You can shoot it in a full. I mean, look at the full auto 308s. I mean, they're flawless. They're not flawless, but they
every freaking AR-10 I had shot. Weren't Jam-O-Matics. I read a lot of articles where people say that. I never had a problem with that, ever.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So
good.
There are about 3 times as many factory 308 Winchesters as there are 270. So he says advantage right there, Clay. 308 clearly, right? You want to hit this next one, killing ability, 270, or you want me to keep rolling here?
Well, you know what? I look at that. So, I own a 270 and a 308. It's killing ability. It's distance for one. Okay. So what's your distance? What's your average shot? I'm telling you right now, and we've discussed this. No matter what my gun is, I'm at that 100 yards, 100 to 200. I mean, I very seldom really shoot anything over that. Probably because I got my own land to hunt, so I don't have to, right? I don't have to compete with anybody if I don't want to. So when I look at that, the 270 to me is just as lethal as a 308 or a 30-06 or any of them, because at that 100 to 200 yards, I mean, come on. It isn't going to matter. But in this deal, he kind of, and he's probably right. You got a lot more power. I mean, let's just say it's a 30 caliber. It's got a lot more power. It's moving out there. When you look at the 270, and they are right, you can move a 150 grain bullet about 2,775 feet per second, and you can move that bigger bullet in a.
And your sectional density is better on a 270 than a 30 cal too.
Yes, but I don't know. I'm going by personal experience, not so much what this guy's saying. He says, I don't know how effective the measure is. He goes, some consider kinetic energy the best measure, while others think the bullet weight or caliber a better indicator. What he does is he speaks from his experiences, right? Just like I said. I've had shooting and witnessing of a lot of animals shot with both cartridges. If there's a difference, I've never been able to see it, but kind of what I was just talking about. And I'll bet you that the best box of ammo, that either cartridge, you can look inside an elk or deer shot with a 270 or a 300, and you can't determine which cartridge killed which critter.
I probably agree with that.
I agree with him. The 308 Winchester will handle heavier bullets, but with today's modern projectiles, the slower moving, heavier bullets offer no real advantage over premium midweight projectiles. And honestly, that's kind of what I was just saying.
He says tie, so he says it's advantage. Now. He said that's. Yeah. I'm going to disagree, Clay. I think the 270. Okay. I've seen a lot of deer killed with my buddy John's 270, and I've had a 308, and then in my opinion, the 270. I'm just going to say the 270 will kick the 308's ass and kill in power, in my opinion. Not that I'm saying the 308 doesn't kill shit; it does. But as far as just knocking shit down or just blowing big holes in them or drop dead in them some bitches, I think the 270 is better.
David says you can tell if they use a Nosler BT. That's true. And that's just it. Again, that's why when you're really going, what are we looking at? What's the determination? I think distance is big. What bullet are you using? Today's world's different than 1925 or even in 1950 plus, that when these came out. Way different world when you start comparing.
Yeah, and he'll get into some bullet comparisons here towards the end. Dougie said it was cold out. Eric says he goes for weight versus speed. He says weight kills. So
it does, and weight kills at a shorter distance.
I mean, I would say it depends on where you hit them, but If you don't hit a rib and you go into the ballistic tip Nosler, the Nosler 150 and the 308 was the best killing bullet I've ever. I mean, I dropped dead shit with that thing. It was crazy.
And I shoot a 130. I mean, that's my go-to round for my 270. That's what it likes. That's what I use. And I have no problem dropping deer. I really don't. And let's face it, if I go elk hunting, I'm either traveling somewhere and then I'd step up to at least the 150s. They do make heavier bullets now, but they're moving slower. That 150, that partition is what I was using in my 270 because it shot so good. I thought that was a great bullet. But that's been many years ago. I don't even know if I have
that partition. That might even be, if not the same, not close to old as the 270, not?
Could be. I don't know.
Wasn't that the first one? I think, John, I might have been one of the first ones in Nosler made. So anyway, hold on. We got a few more here. Let's see. Yeah. Gene says 7.62 by 51 was a Winchester Brainstorm. Modern powder took up less case capacity and could push ball ammo at mil-spec velocities. Take less brass to make, shorter cycle stroke on machine guns, etc. Yeah. And I know anybody's listening to the show for. I am a big ball powder fan. I love ball powders. I know they're temp sensitive. Yeah, I know, but they make the shit that's not now.
Well, like I shoot ram shot. Well, that's a granule. It's not a ball. It's a granule. But I
love ram shot powders.
I mean, that stuff loads good. It's pretty accurate. I mean, I'm not a competition shooter, so I don't need it to be, nads on.
When I reloaded 308, I used tack and outward
freaking
tack work. I mean,
yep.
Half-inch groups,
and it's not just for that. I mean, you could use tack and everything, a lot of things.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm saying I would work in 125 grainers up to 150s. I never loaded the 165s. Like I said, 150s always work great for me. Dave says both rifles leave softball holes. The tips are different colors. Yeah. All right, so let's go here, Clay, to accuracy and precision, which. I had
I was typing. Some people were messaging. I said, "Hey,
that's fine
right now. Thanks for listening."
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, send me another TikTok video I can't open. So he's a 308 and Dave Fetting here, state champ, long range shooter. Is well known for extreme precision. No argument with that. I think most people probably know that, right? Even with factory rifles and factory ammo, and I would say like an AR-10. Shooting the two that I had shooting soft point, I think Federal Power Shot. God, it would shoot like 5 shots in an inch. It was crazy. It would, yeah. And he says not to say I haven't seen 270 shoot lights out, dime size group, but 308s will do the same group but twice the distance. The consensus is that the 308 win is more inherently accurate than the 270. Yeah, I mean, I think so. But like I said, I've never really been around guys shooting 270s long range. But the ones I've seen at 100, I mean, they'll shoot an inch group. In fact, Axe and I did a test with this 270 on a Tika 270. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. So
you can't go to Facebook anymore. They're starting to, after 60 days, they're going to pull.
Yeah, they take them off. Or if it's on Rumble, I can't remember.
All the more reason to go over to Rumble or go to X because Facebook isn't going to have it no more.
So there's a reason the 308 had a stellar career in precision shooting. That is because of its inherent accuracy. He says a combination of shorter and stiffer actions. It can. I mean, that must be a thing because a lot of guys I know shoot long range or for accuracy. This is the short action. So he says advantage 308. I agree. I mean, a precision shooting is probably the 308 is probably going to handle it. So.
Oh yeah.
Somebody says you yelled at him there. What is that, Clay? Oh, there you go. It worked, Clay.
I wonder who that. Oh, okay, that's my sister.
100 proof Rabbit City. Clay yelled at me, so I'm here now.
Well, we're glad to have you. Tell Larry. We'll be seeing him here in a few weeks.
Guilted your ass into it. I love it. That's whatever works, Clay. And don't forget if you're listening, hit that like button.
Absolutely.
At the very least, and if you're feeling generous, by all means, share it. Gene says the 308 was loaded with IMR 4320 when introduced. IMR 4320 is the OG powder there. Okay. Right. Josh says I went on X for the first time in a while, and the first thing that popped up was a post from a bummer. Not sure why I don't follow her. Like, yeah, you got to go. They got like suggested ones, and then you can pan over and hit the ones that you only want to see that you follow. So
Yeah,
that's how that works. All right, Clayton. Effective range. You want to handle this one, or you want me to do something?
so effective range again. There's so many variables. That's why it's hard for me to actually read these kinds of things because, well, we all know effective range.
I mean, going by ballistics, I think the 270 like killing power is.
I mean, and this guy actually will probably surprise everybody. I bet you know what some people are thinking, but he says, "How do you determine the effective range of a cartridge?" He says, short of shooting a generation's worth of critters. Well, I think I've done that. Maybe I bet Eric's killed more than me though. He goes, there's different ranges, scientifically examining the results, blah blah blah. Math. Anyway. So I feel that the best indicator of effective range is maximum distance at which a bullet fired from a cartridge retains its ability to form, expand, and impact. Essentially, get the job done. Right.
Right.
And I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yep.
Though it will vary from load to load, which it will. With a 270 Winchester, you can squeak out between 50 to 150 more yards before impact velocity drops below the bullet's upset threshold. And that's because it's lighter, generally. And you're pushing a 277 versus a 30 caliber. And
I do that. I actually do that. Like look at the bullet companies at their lowest velocity at which the bullet will expand, and not that I would look at it and go, oh, I see my Creedmoor bullet will still expand at 650 yards. That doesn't mean I'm going to shoot that far at a deer if the wind's blowing freaking 15 miles an hour. I'm definitely not. I might not even do it when there's no wind. But that is what I use more than kinetic energy is when that bullet will expand. Because if the bullet expands, it's going to wreck shit.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, not to interject here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just become a member. Got a level freedom seat right there on
awesome.
YouTube.
Thank you.
And by the way, go over here. See, it's hard to see. Over there, see that little QR code? Go ahead and scan that and make a donation too. That's probably the easiest way because YouTube's a little harder to collect on. But hey, you know what? Whatever works for you, do it there. Do it there, though. All right.
I mean, if you can't afford $5, man. Help a brother out.
Help a brother out, man. Anyway, so yeah, when you start looking at this and what he said, I don't disagree. He comes out and he said that as far as he thinks, the advantage is the 270 because of the ballistics, because of the higher, the BC, and being able to push that thing out 50 to 150 more. So I ain't going to disagree with him, but I'm telling you right now, a lot of 308s have been shot a long distance with our snipers in the military, and I can't say they're wrong.
But yeah, I mean, they're hitting them, and I mean, they're not worried about killing them or, it's just to get them out of the fight. But yeah, I think the longest one was 1,300 and something yards in Iraq. The guy got him. I think it was 168. Bowtail hollow point he got him with, but I watched a video on it. But so he gives advantage there, Clay, 270.
He did, yeah.
And the winner is he said, and right after this, I'll tell you what, he's got a thing about some loads here, some factors, and we'll talk about that a little bit before we move on. But he says, as I see it, the 308 Winchester wins in the available ammunition and precision category, while the 270 has the edge in the effective range. As for killing ability, they are equal. Both cartridges recoil very similarly, but in the same style rifle, the 308 Win will weigh slightly less due to its shorter action and a large hole in the barrel. All right, I'm going to disagree with that. I think the 270 is a mule kicking son of a bitch compared to a 308, in my opinion, but that's just me. If effective range means more to you than anything else, the 270 takes a trophy, but from all around big game hunting standpoint, the winner is the 308 Winchester.
And that's what overall he took the 308. And I don't know. It's hard for me. I don't have a preference other than the fact I like shooting my 270. I obviously know where it shoots. That's why I grab it out of all the firearms I have.
Yeah, I mean, 270 guys are passionate about the 270 to me, the guys that I know. What Dave says, those accuracy tests are more based on ignition recoil. 270s are a bit more harmonically noisy than a 308. If the 270 rifle was twice or three times the weight, they would be comparable. Okay. Yeah, I mean, when my buddy John shoots his 270 out the gun range, man, I feel like somebody freaking touched off a goddamn cannon around me. Now that my dad's got that 30-06 now too, and he shot that, and I just was like, "What in the hell did you get that thing for instead of that Creedmoor? That noisy ass! God, that thing's loud."
30-06
Anyway.
is very loud.
Oh
I
God!
can
I
tell you
don't know.
right
Them
now,
guys in World War II aren't all deaf.
I've got a couple of them. Do I shoot them? Very seldom. I mean, I got that Remington, that semi-autos in the 7400, and I like putting my 10-round mag into it just to tweak liberals if I see them.
I mean, that's nice. That's all you need. That's all you need. So, best loads here. He says best loads for both, Clay, and I think he's just going with factory ammo here. 270. What does he got here? 130 grain. He said, and this again, Axe and I tested this. I say it's a Federal Power Shock just because I know I've seen my buddy John kill muleys and whitetails with this thing, and it's been ultra effective. The Federal Power Shock at 130 grain. He says 130 grain core lock. Axe and I shot them both in the gel. Axe, I don't remember. I want to say that Remington, and I think we did it at 200 yards. I think that Remington actually retained a little more weight. Penetration was fairly equal in the gel block, and expansion was good. But I think, for whatever reason, I think that core lock kind of shocked us, and I'm pretty sure it was 130 grain or so.
Oh, really? Okay.
And most guys I know with a 270 shoot a 130, Clay, and I think that's what you got, right? You shoot a soft point. You said
I shoot a soft point Sierra. No, that's actually a Sierra I shoot.
Okay.
At.
Well, the nozzle was for elk, you said.
Yep, nozzle was what I was using on my elk. Yeah, I shoot a 130 grain Sierra. It's been a great round. It shoots it great.
Game King.
Yep. That's. I mean, you can't get more traditional than that. Probably. I use ram shot powder. I'm actually using the Hunter. Let's see. No, the Big Game. I'm using Big Game in that.
Big Game works awesome for 6.5 Creed too.
And I'm telling you that is and it doesn't, ram shot burns clean. That's why I like it. And I use a Winchester large Magnum primer. I always have. I don't even have any regular ones because I built all my loads with the Magnum primers. And that had more to do with that's what was available at the time, so that's what I didn't change it.
Eric says he hates the core lock.
Really?
Okay. And Waylon says I shoot 130 Federal soft point. I'm sure they're Power Shocks. In my 270, never a problem with it. Yeah, that thing has been, man, that works good. It blows my mind how good that works. Same with the 308.
Eric, because I watched Clay blow. That was a long time ago, though. I wasn't even using that load. I was using different loads back then. But he's right, and I should have never took that shot. I remember that one distinctively.
I've been fortunate, man. I've never got the leg off of one yet. I mean, now that I said that, who knows? But by next week at this time, Clay, I'll probably know we're probably gonna have the deer tags out. So.
If I remember correctly, that was the year that the numbers were low. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric. Me, you, and your brother all had double tags. We filled all our tags. We shot half the antelope. We saw that weekend, that day in the government pasture south of Lemon. So, we took half the things, half the animals we saw. So I guess we did okay. Awesome.
So Gene says core locked was the first controlled expansion bullet from way back. Right, the deadliest mushroom in the woods. In fact, Doug said right here, Remingtons are 130s, right, Doug? And I think we said the deadliest mushroom on the prairie actually when we did the test. So I was surprised more people didn't watch it. It was a pretty good test, really. Like I said, out of his Tika. I think I want to say the Remingtons shot. I think they shot a better group too. I think they were just under an inch. The 3-shot. We did the 3-shot. That's not enough. Yeah, bullshit.
The other article I thought was interesting is in that editor, that writer's opinion, if Winchester would have put a 1 in 8 twist in the barrel from its inception, is what he figured. He goes, and then he could have pushed 170 grain bullet. And now it's called a 6.8 Western, essentially. He feels it would have walked all over a 308, and I think he's right. But that ain't what they did.
It does look pretty badass. I know I think I did something about that when I first started the 701. But yeah, the 6.5 Western looks, I don't know how it's ever going to catch on too much. It might. I see a lot of people more use it. To me, like it is a Western, I think it's more like an elk.
And of course, I read a lot of Jack O'Connor stuff, so Elmer Keith too, but so it's hard for me to not, use a 270. And
right, yeah, big 270 guys.
I get him. I get the nostalgia of it. I do.
So to cut it shorter, he basically said the same thing. He said best 150 grain rem core lock for Remington for the 308 win. I'll be telling you right now, I've shot a lot of 308s. Core lock has never shot worth the shit out of it. Federal Power Shock, yes, shot great out of almost all of them I shot. So I would say again, I would go with the Power Shock over the core locked. Maybe Remington's new ammo's good. I have no clue.
I don't know who's producing it for them anymore, but they're part of a conglomeration now. So I really don't know.
And they're separate from Remington Firearms and all that shit. So they finished.
Eric said you were using a core lock and the antelope was there. You go. So see, Eric remembers better than I do. I said I don't think I was using my 130 grainers. I can tell you that antelope. Yeah, that was bad.
He's saying, so he finishes her up here. If you go with the 130 core locks or the 150 core locks and the 308, if you can't kill a deer with this load, your ass just can't shoot. So
there you go.
Yeah. Or you got massive buck fever.
So David says that the 6.8 Western is just a plus P270. They use
kind of like 6.5 Creed. What's the one I'm thinking of? Not a 6.5 Creed, 6.5 PRC.
Yeah, I say PRC. Yep. Which,
there's another 200 feet per second, man. That matters, and if you're shooting longer.
Kelly likes them PRCs. We'll have to ask him. Maybe he's going to get in here.
Here's our fellow MVE and the wife up there in Montana, Alaska.
In Alaska.
Can't get her to focus in. Yeah, Brian and Mama Joe.
Mama Joe can shoot, boys.
Got all the dollars. He's drinking a little Denali Brewing, Hair of the Dog, Salty Dog Saloon. They got their own.
Wow.
Yeah. Talkeetna, Alaska. Not only a big fishing town, big freaking skiing town too. Back from my skiing days. So.
Well, you have to bring some back with you, Brian, because then
I don't know if he's listening, but he might have just.
We should, if he brings some back with him, if he's able to, then he can have that on. We need to do a drinks in the 701 again.
Hey, perfect. Yeah, save yourself a couple cans of something there.
You realize I bought, when we went ice fishing in January, I bought some Badlands whiskey. It's still sitting there in the
we got to get her done when it starts getting cold again here, man.
I haven't cracked it because I'm waiting for that. It must be pretty decent whiskey because it hasn't frozen in the freezer. I actually took some and put it in my freezer and it froze. Yeah, that's pretty cheap crap, but it was a lot of water in it. This did not freeze, so...
all right, Clay, should we do our big ad here and come back, and then we'll hit what do we got? We got a mag dump to hit, and we got our happy ending chronicle.
We do, yeah.
And I'm quite sure we'll discuss a few other things. So we're just planning on being around for 2 hours.
So hey, everybody, this will have Bloodline in it, but that's okay. We need to break anyway. We'll do all four here. So we'll see you here right after the break.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitution constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, we are back. Hey, everybody, just to let you know, and yeah, if you text me, I'm probably not going to see it during the show, just to let you know.
All right. Hey, Clay, how's that? Real quick again, guys, if you're watching, guys and gals, make sure you hit that like button. Help us bust this algorithm's ass. Hey, and if you're listening on the podcast, Clay, go ahead and give us a review.
Give us a review, and if, like I said, if you're over there on YouTube, go ahead and, if you want, be a member. It's a reoccurring thing every month. Or, I always got to do it this way, right? Right there, that QR code, that one works too, and we've had some people do that, so we sure appreciate that. Hey, looks like Dan Brown has done the link, and we appreciate that. So
thank you, Dan. You're a great American, man. You're a great North Dakotan too, as a matter of fact. Gene said he had to go. He had to do some outside work. All right, Gene, appreciate it, buddy. Eric says he's a Barnes bullet guy. I would add one more thing, Clay, about the 308. I loaded the Nosler 150 grain ballistic tip.
Yes,
and my buddy Rob did back when he hunted. I mean, super accurate out of pretty much any 308 I shot, and a killing son of a bitch. So yeah, I would. Yep, God, definitely. If you don't want, and it was fast too. I'm saying out of a 22-inch barrel or 20-inch barrel, I think at that Tika, that sucker was going down near 3,100. So
and Tikas are good.
That was a tack. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I'll have to pick up my new Freedom rod from you here. Maybe I come up there to do a little interview with somebody that I'm going to be doing. So, yeah. Yeah,
well, don't forget that hoodie and them coffee mugs.
I've got some of these for you. I've got some regular mugs. How about
you got any more shirts that your sweatshop made up or not?
I can make you some. We're kind of running low. I think I got a double X, and I don't need a double Bubba anymore. So
here, put this up here. 100 Proof Rabbit City said it's only $2.99 a month. Come on, everyone! Super cheap to support a great cause. Appreciate that. It is $2.99. I mean, you can't barely buy a bottle of freaking water for that anymore.
You can't buy a gallon of gas for it anymore. At least not in my
Listen, if you subscribe to that, you're not even going to notice that on your freaking credit card every month. It's $3. Clay and I'll notice it though.
One good thing has nothing to do with the show. I got the bad thing is like my freaking debit card got hacked, so I had to get a new one. I've been trying to cancel my Sirius subscription, and that's I think they do it on purpose to make it difficult, so you give up. Well, guess what? That was connected to my old card, so now they can't charge it no more. I finally got an email.
You bastards, you got you one way or another.
Got you now, by golly. So,
all right, Clayton, you want to do your mag dump here?
I'll do one here. So I am going to do the one because, it's right next door. And the Democrats, again, guess who they blamed for what happened in Minnesota?
Oh, the guy, right? They had to blame the person, right?
Oh, they blamed gun control, Republicans. They also were blaming guns, the availability of guns. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but he had a no brains rally pamphlets all over in his car.
Oh, yeah, and he had, 3 AK-47s and a 9mm, so it wasn't even a big bad AR-15, so I suppose now we got to get rid of him.
Really? Yeah. I didn't know that. Okay, he was a big AK guy. I knew them AK guys are twisted, man.
He was pretty much a leftist, but don't.
See you, Josh.
Yeah, hey, Josh, thanks for tuning in. Got to remember, though, never let what did old Eric Holder say? Never let an opportunity go, or I forget.
No, I wasn't Holder. That was Rahm Emanuel. Never let a good crisis go to waste.
That's what it was. There you go. Well, they're not doing it. So there was this panel discussion. I actually went in there to see it because it was on a local station on there. And he had former Rep. Andy Levin, Democrat from Michigan, and a Democrat strategist. Yeah, that's just a dumb oxymoron. A Democrat strategist. Karen Finney, and attempted to blame the situation on the fact that firearms were easily accessible in the United States.
He passed the background check, though.
He did, evidently.
The magic potion to solve everything.
My God, here's a quote. My God, we've got to stop thinking we can solve our problems or we can get attention for ourselves or our point of view or whatever that person thought that they were doing with firearms, Levin said. This is an epidemic in the country. Remember, key word, got to watch the words and the terminologies left. Epidemic. You know why they push that? They want to say that it's like a virus. It's like a pandemic. It's an epidemic. So, we got to get the CDC and everybody else involved. We used to worry about school shootings all the time. No, it wasn't all the time. I didn't worry. They actually weren't as common as you thought, but we did a show on that. Used to worry so much about the school shooting, and yet, let's see, now people, the president himself, he was killed. No, he was assassinated. I mean, look at this stupid.
Can't even get her words straight.
I'm reading it word for word. Anyway, 2 assassination attempts. That's right. There was. And the president came out and said, I'm not for gun control. Remember that?
Yeah. He's going to ban AR-15s now. No?
Yeah. No, we didn't do that. And
sorry, Cody.
We have to take on as a sorry, Cody. Gumshoe. Policy matter in this country. Then you get the person that Sir Michael Singleton added, and he said, well, I agree that too many people believe violence is the best way to get the point across. I wouldn't necessarily place the blame on guns, which fair enough.
Yeah.
He noted that far too many people were unstable and apparently unwilling to engage in debate or simply vote out people whom they disagreed with. Well, the Democrat commie pushed back and said, claiming that mental health in the United States was not dramatically worse than in other nations. Okay, I disagree. There's a lot of mental illness for a lot of different reasons.
Right. I mean, the easiest way to find him is go see who's registered as a Democrat.
There you go. That's the easiest way. You got a whole party full of mentally disturbed people. Once again, arguing that access to firearms was the problem. She kept going back to that. We have a problem of firearms being accessible, submachine guns, all kinds of guns. And we're not going to solve the problem until we step up to the plate and take on this epidemic. Wow. Well, there's a whole lot just wrapped up in that one statement, isn't there? First of all, and Singleton, I'll give this guy credit. He says, by the way, he says, you can't buy a submachine gun anymore.
Submachine
was
gun.
Outlawed decades ago, okay? Technically, that's not true. You could buy one.
Yeah.
You can get your.
They're going to cost you a shit ton.
Yeah, and it's got to be pre-1986, and there's a whole litany.
Note to this Democrat gal: just because it looks like one doesn't mean it is one.
Well, and right now the way the NFA stands on those kind of firearms, they might as well be illegal because they're pretty untouchable for anybody to get.
Yeah, like I said before, about the cheapest one you can get, and this was years ago, was a Uzi. stamped out Uzi 9mm, and them bastards are like 15 to 20,000. So
yeah, well, if you wanted a mod Deuce, you had to get one pre-1986, and then it had to either be one that was here already, which you're going to pay through those. You could get one that had been cut apart and imported, because that's the only way they could come in, and they be reassembled.
Like one of these trans testicles, it was all cut apart.
It's all cut apart, yeah. And this was 10 plus years. Well, I've been on the NRA for 10, so it's been 15 years ago. That was 18,000, and that wasn't reassembled. That was just
I mean, it's way more now.
I mean, you were probably looking at closer to 25. I didn't even price it after that, because that's just dumb, right? Anyway,
yeah, for that.
And then let's look at this. So accessibility to guns. And I agree with what the writer said here. He's disgusted by the whole line of reasoning. To use this awful situation to go after our gun rights, which is stupid, right? Especially when we have a recent history of an alleged assassin who used a 3D gun printed firearm, 3D printed suppressor, in a New York street to kill a health care insurance guy. So it doesn't really matter. He skirted every utopia gun law that we have on the books, and some of these states that go farther than our feds do. Didn't matter, did he? He still went to New York and killed a guy right there on the street at close range. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not the gun. It's not the laws.
I mean, he could have walked up behind the guy and grabbed one of the bricks off the pallets that the Democrats set in cities to wreck him and hit him over the head and killed him that way.
Yeah, too. We don't even get going on LA 3D tonight. Printer. We'd be here a whole nother hour.
Yeah. I mean, that's how freaking low account these Democrats. They'll use anything, no matter if it. I mean, the guy owned a goddamn security defense company, and he was overseas.
Yes. That's another thing. Yeah, he was appointed by Walls. He was actually had a security.
And Mark Dayton hired him.
I mean,
Mark Dayton and Walls.
Did you see his picture? He kind of looks like a loony leftist, don't he?
Well, did you see him dancing around that video? He was dancing around like Walls. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, and like I said, his car. They're trying to say he was a Republican. Listen,
that was right away. They tried to say that, and he wasn't.
He took him out right after these Democrats voted against funding giving illegal aliens medical insurance.
Yep, she voted against it, and so he killed her for it. That's really nice, right?
And when they shot the other people 8, 9 times each, and then of course. Oh God, I forgot what I was going to say. Now there's too many things flowing through my small brain, Clay. I got vapor lock
like my 62 was doing, but I solved that. I just put a bigger radiator in it, so there you need a bigger radiator.
Yeah, when they found his car, I mean, they had a picture of it, just gobs of freaking No Kings rally freaking deals. Yeah. So, I'm sure big Trump supporters got his No Kings rally thing in there, and let's get to some of
that. I have got to add this. Charles Tuttle, you're the man. And Bismarck, he went out there with his big Trump flag and just was waving it proudly. These guys are coming up to him. He just ignored him. I'll give him this. Whether you agree with Charles or not, the guy has some balls because he'll go out there. He don't care.
Yeah, he does. That is true.
Hats off. I tip it to you, Charles.
That's awesome. That's
I
didn't
see Gumshoe anywhere, but
he doesn't like Trump anyway, so he probably agreed with him and Gabriel. Yeah, that's right. Trump is a king.
Yep. Okay. Oh, let's see here.
We got some comments backed up here, Clay. You want to get on it?
Unfortunately, you don't declare political stance in Minnesota when you register. His was other or none, apparently. Okay, I hadn't heard that one. David, I like this one. You should add a question to the 4470. Are you proud to be an American? So many Democrats would go to jail right there. Yeah. Can you imagine if they answered yes and you could?
One of the representatives from Minnesota said this is the worst country in the world. She's got dual citizenship. Get your ass back to the one your other citizenship.
Umar, whatever the hell. Yep. I mean, go over there and you can sleep with your brother and get out of our country. There you go.
I mean, that is a thing, ain't it?
Like this one here, yeah. See now, Christy. See you. I know you like the show because you're commenting. Epidemic. Let's focus on the epidemic of delusion in this
big time.
That's the
big time. Absolutely. TDS. You get the TDS.
Okay, you're gonna get a video from Larry, and the next time there's a protest out there. There you go.
Hey, he said, "Is Denell your sweatshop?"
Yes, that's my sweatshop. I won't tell you how I pay her.
So listen to this shit right here. Here we go. This is going to piss me off, and it should piss most people off listening. Heard they want to do another No Brains rally day on Independence Day. They highly underestimate red-blooded Americans with a few drinks in them. On Independence Day, like little Bill told the English guy, their English Bob, and on Independence Day, Bob gave him his pistol with a bent barrel on it.
I remember that. Yes, that was a great movie.
I mean, really. Well, the bunch of them were mad that we were celebrating the Army's birthday and the Flag Day. They were pissed off. You heard Hillary say it, but trust me, most Democrats they hated it.
They hated every minute of it because it showed our strength.
Scumbags.
It showed that we're proud to be Americans. I don't understand it.
They're not.
I am proud to be an American. I'm not really proud of my government at times, but I am proud that I was an American.
Did you read that one your sister put on here about Larry's 82-year-old mother?
Let's see here. Larry's 82-year-old mother was flipping off the protesters this past weekend and screaming real fast.
Yes, put an emphasis on it for him.
I have to say, we went to Aberdeen to get my son a birthday present that he didn't know about. That was at Bassett Helm. And I think I told you, there was some of them that were not a very big group of them. I couldn't resist, Jamie. I had to get in the other lane, roll the window down, and flip a bird and say a few things.
Oh, yeah. Wow. If people saw the first time they were here, I had a video of it I put up there giving it to them.
I wish the hell I'd have had my diesel because I'd have rolled some freaking coal and smoked them bastards out.
One guy was doing it. It looked pretty freaking awesome. He was getting them
It
good.
would have been. I had the Tahoe, and them Chevys just can't do it. No, I wish I'd had the diesel log because that thing's got a 4-inch straight all the way back, and we'd have rolled a little.
Nice. All right, Clay. I'm gonna hit my mag dump here.
For it. Yep, do it.
So a lot of people we take shots at them a lot, Gumshoe, about bitching at Trump and the NRA for being they're not really pro Second Amendment. It's bullshit. It's an all or nothing thing with them too, right? And still. Mm-hmm. I mean, the butthole is puckered tight yet over the bump stock thing, even though Trump's judicial appointments overturned it. So,
you're not supposed to pay attention.
Another thing here, we're gonna put a little, it's good to put salt in this wound on him, but we're gonna do it. June 13th, 2025, the Civil Rights Division of President Donald J. Trump's Department of Justice, headed by Pam Bondi, who a bunch of other people said too was going to be an anti-gun piece of shit too, right? But I'm sorry, guys. She's just doing what Trump said. Oh, okay, but you said Trump was anti-gun. Shut up, JD. You're a freaking idiot. You're just a Trump sycophant. I am. You got me on that one. So they announced the filing of an amicus brief, Clay. Supporting the NRA lawsuit against the Illinois assault weapons ban. Wait a minute, Clay. How many times did we hear from the anti-NRA dipshits, and you are dipshits, that the NRA supports banning assault weapons? They support banning assault weapons.
We heard it from several right on a radio station.
Oh, for God's sake, just sickening. So here they are. NRA's filing a lawsuit, Illinois, the assault weapons ban. The brief was announced by Assistant Attorney General for the DOJ's Civil Rights Division, Harmeet Dillon, in a post to X. Dillon noted the Second Amendment is not a second-class right. See your ass in court, Illinois. I might have added one word in there.
I love that, don't you?
I added one word in there.
Yeah.
She was thinking it, and I said it. So the amicus brief introduced points to Bruin's 2022 decision and says apart. So the Bruin decision, Clay, who appointed the judges that made that possible? Remind everybody quickly.
That would have been President Trump's first term.
Impossible. He's an anti-gunner.
He's an anti-gunner.
3 years ago, the Supreme Court issued a landmark decision meant to break a habit developed by some states of treating the Second Amendment as a second-class right, subject to an entirely different body of rules than the other constitutional rights, which it was, Clay. What'd they have the name for that shit when they do that, right? It was... when they treated the Second Amendment different, they had like a little saying for it, and then
I honestly don't.
Under Bruin, Thomas said, "Yeah, that's not going to happen anymore." So, not every state's got the message, though, Clay.
No,
a few months,
New York, California,
a few months after Bruin,
New Jersey,
Illinois outlawed some of the most commonly used rifles and magazines in America via their so-called assault weapons ban. In doing so, Illinois violated the Supreme Court's clear directive that states cannot prohibit arms that are in, quote, common use, that's what it was, Judge Scalia, by law-abiding citizens for lawful purposes, which was in Heller in 2008, which I mean, that might come back and get us in the future by saying that that's the subject for a different day, but I mean, it works here for this case for sure. The Civil Rights Division brief centers on 2 issues, Clayton. 1, whether the act violates the Second Amendment to the extent that it bans the possession of firearms that are in common use by law-abiding citizens for lawful reasons. Clay, I mean, that's pretty goddamn easy, right? It's violating the shit out of it. How many ARs are there? 20, 30 million of them?
Oh my, yeah, it's the most popular firearm owned today, other than
it
is the most popular.
And as a lot of people like to say, it's far more common than the Ford F-150. So I mean, and then that's a belly button pickup. They're everywhere, just like a Chevy 1500, right? And number 2, whether the act violates the Second Amendment to the extent that it bans the possession of magazines and other firearm attachments that are in common use by law-abiding citizens for lawful reasons, which Clay's other mag dumps can touch on this a little bit. We didn't pre-coordinate this shit, right, Clay?
No, we didn't.
It's just great minds thinking alike is all it is.
Well,
it does violate it because you're like, okay, so you can have a gun, but you can't have a magazine to make it work. Really?
Well,
how about a scope? It doesn't have iron sights on it. Nope, the Second Amendment doesn't protect having a scope or a red dot. This is the kind of train of thought these dumbass freaking, they're not dumb, these what's the word I'm looking for? Delusional, unhinged Democrats think. This is how they think. Most of these people aren't dumb. They know what they're doing. They're unhinged bastards.
They're not dumb. Yeah. That's the scary part.
Yep. So to finish it up here, Clay, one more sentence. The brief then notes that the AR-15, as I was scrolling on the bottom, we got in there, America's rifle, is among the arms protected by the Second Amendment. 100% it is, and every other one too. And that those protections also include the magazines necessary right here, Clayton, to feed ammunition to the rifles, or it's useless as it's a goddamn club. So
exactly. And hey, Christy, while you're watching, thank you to CC last Christmas. She got me these awesome ice cubes.
Yeah, that's right. You do have those. Those are awesome.
They were great.
I like that. That's freaking badass. All right, Clay, you got some. You got a few more of them comments. You got to
says I hate living in this state. I have never met more idiots in my entire life than here in Illinois, especially the government officials. Well, I told her she ought to move back here to the Free State, and then me and Larry can work on old vehicles because he likes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to have them move back closer to home, but I get it. You got to go where the jobs are, and that's that's where Larry's at, and I get it. Now my niece and her husband are out there too. They just had a little baby, so I'm a great uncle now. I never even thought of that.
I mean, if you're out of Cook County, you're probably Illinois is probably a pretty awesome state. It's probably like freaking Minnesota when you're not in Minneapolis.
It's like all these. I mean, look at California. The northern part is freaking conservative as can be, but you got the rest of it. L.A., San Francisco, Sacramento. They're all libs, and that's Minnesota. You got Minneapolis, St. Paul, Rochester, and Duluth. I think someone said
Duluth. Yeah. Yeah, well, your sister's right. The scariest ones are the very intelligent, educated people that know how to manipulate. They do know how to manipulate. You're right, but they have zero common sense, don't live in a world of reality, but they can manipulate other people with the, Dougie says, I'm waiting for the day when they say any scoped rifle. I mean, they've already said that, actually.
They've been called sniper rifles by Democrats. In fact, that was even mentioned back in the 90s. They were calling them snipers.
Well, Clay, if you remember the head of I think she was the United Nations there, one of their, whatever they're saying. It was an Australian gal, and she said, you don't need nothing that shoots past 100 yards. Yeah. She had her, I kind of got like a Boston accent in there, but and she says, I know you like your rifles, it's your hobby, find another one. Just a snobby nose in the air.
Well, little Aussies, you know what, we don't care because we are the United States of America, and we don't care because we have a Second Amendment right written into our Constitution.
You guys need more Mick Dundees down there. Mick was a gun guy and a big knife guy, plus he punched drunk fuckers out in the bar.
I just got to watch 1 and 2 here not too long ago.
Yeah. I like
goes into the bar and they're like, "Hey, he's a guy," and he walks over there and checks and that's
not a guy. That's a Sheila. That's a Sheila.
Whoa!
Kind of like getting a blowfly up your nose when you're sniffing the coke. Get a buzz, man.
Oh my God.
McHenry County, she says it's not as bad. All right.
But you still got to have your FOID card out. That's how
I think I remember Obama saying like Southern Illinois was in his words, the worst.
So tell you what, let's take a quick break. I'll go into my mag dump. We'll do the happy ending Chronicle and some announcements, and then it'll probably be a wrap after that.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Get her done.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, we are back. See, I got that edited up, Jamie.
Yeah, I did. Look good.
The joy of this supercomputer we built, right?
Yeah. Tom Donaldson's Duluth is very blue, a mini Minneapolis. Oh, your sister has her FOID card.
Oh, yeah, she's had one because she's got a Caltech PMR out there. So, yeah. Hey, they've done the job.
You like that, Trayvon?
Yeah.
Caltech.
You go Kyle Rittenhouse on them. They're right next
Zimmerman.
to
Zimmerman. That was Zimmerman. Remember George Zimmerman?
Oh,
the white guy who was a Mexican, but a white guy.
white guy.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are listening, whatever platform you're on, hit that like button, man. Help us out. Break that algorithm. Get that funnels people. The more likes, the more comments.
Hit that QR code over there.
The more subs. You hit that QR code. Get us get her going, man.
Any amount you want.
Hey, so Clay, what's remind people again what your sister did there on YouTube there with the.
She actually went to YouTube and did the membership. We have one for $2.99 a month.
Where do you find that on there?
I believe you got to go right to the. You know what? Let me go look.
You got to go down there. You got to scroll to the right. But I'm not totally familiar with that.
I'm gonna do so. I'm gonna share this quick, for everybody.
Perfect. You got to show me how to do that one of these days.
All right. Yeah. So right here, see memberships. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yep.
Okay. So you go to the memberships over here. Oh, wrong one.
You got a little arrow. There you go. Okay, there you go.
Membership. And here you go. You got member. You get your loyalty badges. You can go ahead and do any membership shout out. You get priority in the reply comments. And just follow the tabs here and get her done.
Man, it's like Clay's sister said. It's $3, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Really? You
right
guys charge?
Now, it's for me. It's just showing what we have here. So when yours guys comes up, it'll actually give you the level of membership because I'm logged in right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just saying here's what your members are seeing. So there you go.
Yeah. So do that right after you hit the like. 100% hit the like, and if you're feeling good, hit that share and subscribe, and then go ahead and go get on there and get on that $3 a month. Help the boys out.
Absolutely, we appreciate.
Help all your fellow MVEs, right, Clayton?
Absolutely, get all of them. You think about it, $3 a month and you get 100 people to do that. That takes care of most of our expenses, and
that frees up a lot of other stuff Clay and I can do to make the show more interesting. So, videos, show, whatever we want to do. Hey, and by the way, guys and gals, please support our sponsors, Horton Laser Craft. As you can see, they do some freaking awesome work.
Oh, I tell you,
Little Angry Man Arms. I said I just bought a couple firearms there. Had them shipped up here. Shipping was cheap, actually. I was surprised shipping was that cheap from John. And
we will have these up, guys. I keep saying that, but I'm waiting now since we're redoing the website. But you'll be able to get these soon.
Yep. And
if you want one now, just get a hold of us.
And by the way, Lauer Auto Repair. You got any car problems? If you just got an oil change you want done or radiator flush, whatever, get down there. Because I guarantee you might go I go to this shop, JD. Really? Do you know that they're huge Second Amendment supporters who support the best freaking Second Amendment live stream and podcast on iHeart? I don't think so, but Lauer is. What's up, 2A701, my fellow MVE brother?
There we go.
You got on late, but I mean, you can always go back and catch a podcast or watch it live, which I know you'll do, man. By the way, nice Rick. You see the farm he's living on now? He's got a piece of land down there. That's awesome, man.
I sent him a message. He says as soon as he gets that kind of settled back in there, it sounds like he's game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like he's game to do something with us. And we'll put him on what was it Todd said? They're going to be the GAT701 network soon.
Yeah, I was kind of looking in the background there in that one picture. He's got a big hill back there. I'm like, what kind of deer hunting stuff has he got back there? Looks like a sweet.
Are you saying we're going to have to do an East River run?
We might. Well, he's got it all set up, his own studio. We might do. Hey, we might be guests on his show on the Guns in the 701 network.
I'm in. Set it up. but not during haying season. I'm going to be balls to the wall here the next 3-4 weeks.
BTW, baby.
I'm going to cut my first field tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes.
Yep. Well, rained again up in Golden Valley. My dad said 2 weeks with this heat and more rain. He might be doing it sooner than he thinks. So. And
I clipped off one of my hay fields early because that crested was already, it was cool, so it was already headed out. Man, does it look beautiful now. It's already coming back. We had another 30 hundredths, and it's just, I'm telling you.
It's always nicer when you're headed in. All right, Clay, why don't you get to your mag dump here, buddy?
All right, here's mine. This comes from Firearms Policy Coalition. If you don't know them, go check them out because they do some great things too. They announced that the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has withdrawn. So we did this a while ago. I think I did it on Mitchell in the Morning, where you had the 3-judge panel that really kind of ruled against as well. The 3-judge panel opinion in the United States versus George Peterson. They backed, or it was a FPC-backed criminal case challenging the federal government's regulation of suppressors through unconstitutional registration and taxation, which we all agree with, right? We discussed that earlier in the show. It's clear that the Fifth Circuit is taking another look now at this. So if you guys don't know how this works, a 3-judge panel usually looks at it, they rule on it, and it could go to the full court then, and that's what's happening here. So right now it's clear that they're going to look at this again in light of the arguments that the attorneys have made for Mr. Peterson's appeal. President Brandon Combs said of the FPC, we hope that the full Fifth Circuit will now rehear the case and confirm that suppressors are protected arms under second. So I got to add to this. We have to do a 4473. Okay. You have to do a NICS background check. So they already considered them firearms. Plain and simple.
Hey, Clay, even if it goes our way here in the big, beautiful bill, and it is big and beautiful, you're still going to have to do a background check.
So it's still considered a firearm, which gives this case is going to have standing, which will be based in Bruin under the Second Amendment ruling of historical use.
I mean, somebody knows how that works, and they're putting the gears together here, Clay.
Yes. We hope that the full Fifth Circuit will now rehear the case, confirm it, that suppressors are protected, which they said, and that the fight will continue for suppressor freedom in the courts or until Congress gets rid of these unconstitutional NFA rules. Today's withdrawal is a promising development, and we look forward to pressing this case, said PFC Action Foundation president.
Tingling down my leg.
Oh, yeah, right up there, right? Like Chris Matthews. This case, however, is far from over. The Fifth Circuit should now properly apply the Supreme Court precedent, that'd be Bruin and Heller. I added that, and issue an opinion that recognizes the Constitution's protection of suppressors. Remember, they're classified as firearms, as well as the unconstitutionality of the government's taxation and registration scheme. So I really am excited to keep watching this. It's interesting because on one hand, they say, nope, we can do it because it's not a firearm. But on the other hand, yep, it's a firearm, so we can tax you. Which way is it? And I can tell you.
Hey, we got them right now like a freaking wet rag. We're squeezing the water out of them.
You also got to remember, Department of Justice under Pam Bondi, they have withdrew on several cases of appeals. So they've been now decided on the good ones. We're winning. You're just not hearing it in a lot of the media.
No, she's anti-gun.
She's anti-gun. She's anti-gun. Gumshoe said so, and so Dustin. But.
Yeah. I mean, Trump, he's got the big D behind his name, and I don't mean these dictators.
Hey, speaking of Trump, he put up a 100-foot pole today and flew a flag.
Two of them.
Yeah, two of them. That was awesome. That ought to tweak some Democrats. But anyway, I am glad to see this case. This case has not just standing. I think it's going to – let's look at it this way. If the Senate's watching this stuff, I think that's why it's gaining momentum in the Senate under the big, beautiful bill, because they're watching these court cases go defeat. We're winning. You're not hearing about it in the mainstream media or the fake news because they don't want to report it. You're hearing it in the sources I watch. We are making strides, and it's all because of places like Firearms Policy Coalition. NRA has been very active.
No.
Them crazy guys, right? Gun Owners
Life member and down proud.
Citizens' Right to Keep and Bear Arms. They have all been, and they get involved in these cases.
FPC is good. I mean, if you don't like harsh language, don't follow FPC on Facebook because they'll just like F-bomb Newsom, and it's great.
And Second Amendment Foundation's also just
awesome.
Good. So keep your ears open, your eyes peeled, because there's going to be big things happening here this year by the end of Congress's session. I'm telling you, it's going
Clay,
it's going to be good.
And the sooner we get the big beautiful bill passed, so we're not dinking around with this, taking up all our time, the more time we got to appoint constitutionalist judges that let stuff like this happen, and lets our Supreme Court get better judges on it.
Absolutely, yep. And I'm telling you right now too.
That's what I'm saying. Look at the big picture here.
I'm curious to see how they're going to handle the suppressor thing. So the bill, let's say the bill passes, which looks pretty.
I don't think they even care. I think they're all on board with it, man.
They are, but I'm going to put another monkey wrench in there. You always had to.
Leon likes my sweet lid right here, Leon. Little Angry Man Arms, baby.
Angry Man Firearms right down there in Trail City. So get it.
Yeah, Donaldson wanted to know where to. Little Angry Man's in Trail City, South Dakota, but you can go to their website, littleangrymanarms.com. Horton Lasercraft. You can find them on Facebook, I think.
Yep.
I don't know if they got a website, and Lauer Auto does not have a website, but they're on 309 South Washington Street, right, Clay?
Right there. You can call them up, 701-258-6308.
Hold on. What are them last three numbers?
6308.
No, that was 4.
Is it 4?
308.
Oh, she's shithead.
Just messing with you, man.
That's it.
Yeah, right there.
So, yeah, go out there and support our sponsors, and don't count Bloodline out just yet. I don't know if you saw my message today. He said, "Yep."
Yeah, hey man, I mean, you got to get a barrel threading. You want to, by all means, go talk to Jake. Just because he ain't our sponsor at the time doesn't mean he ain't going to be.
He's doing a pretty big expansion because he's now went into his own. Basically his own everything. He's going to have his own line of firearms. So it's a big investment, and I get it. So
yeah, I mean, and a little investment would be getting to be a membership on YouTube for $2.99 a month with us.
Absolutely. Leon, you are right. 2A701, all of our sponsors, which I need to go revise it right now, but yes, they are on the website right now. If you go to www, I don't even think you have to say that anymore.
So Leon, I put the lid on there. What'd you think, man? I think it's a pretty badass. Actually, Clay, I wore this out on deliveries for work. Even the ladies are like,
it looks stupid on me because of my head.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, Clay. You look like a barrel racer with that colored hat on.
Oh, great! That's as bad as being a roper. Shit. Little saddle bronc rider, not that good. So yeah, little Angry Man firearm. Right? See, he's got bullet holes in his patch. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh shit! I don't have that one on mine.
Well, see, fuck you.
All right, I take it back. I stand corrected. You are an oak.
I am an oak. Anyways, do you have a happy ending Chronicle?
Oh shit! You know what, Clay? I don't.
I don't either.
Like I said, hey, we can do just like last week. I can pull one right here out of the what some people consider the anti-gun NRA, and let's do it. Should you give me the drum roll? I'm just going to pick this one right here, Clay.
I need to get that intro going again, don't I?
Yeah, with the guy sticking the Glock and the dudes.
I'll work on that for next week.
All right, Clay. I don't know what's going to happen here on this one, but let's just go with it. A man in Boardman, Ohio, reportedly had been receiving weird text messages from one of his neighbors on February 3rd and told the man to leave him alone. But about 2 a.m. on February 4th...
drop his pants and whip it out, or what?
Yeah, excuse me while I whip this out. He heard loud noises and thought, this was 2 in the morning, he heard loud noises and thought the erratic neighbor was slamming the laundry room door next to his apartment. All right, so you got some guy wigging out, right?
So he's dropping his pants and slamming. Got it.
Yes.
Wow. We are going south.
Oh, shit. Okay, so yeah, you're getting closer, Clay, because then he says the neighbor texted him, get ready. And the resident heard another slamming noise. He got out of bed to find the neighbor inside his home, which, yeah, he says get ready, and he's in your house. Get ready for something.
Not good.
Yeah. Fearing for his life, the resident shot the intruder in the leg. Responding police applied a tourniquet and transported the insane suspect to the hospital. When he was handcuffed to the bed and informed that he would be charged with burglary, the man attempted to disconnect himself from the IV lines and cables, took off his wound dressings, and refused treatment, saying that he'd rather bleed out than be arrested. The armed citizen was briefly detained, then given a courtesy ride home. Police said he was acting in self-defense and no charges were expected against him. That actually ended up being a pretty good one right there, right?
Pretty good one. That's just a random.
Even the guy who was the loser was a good entertainment there. I'd rather bleed out. Just screw it.
Just let me die.
Yeah.
You see what? See, I got to put this up here because this. I think we all know this movie.
100% Louisiana Black Snake, boys.
Oh my God!
Tu beaucoup my ass.
Eric, I know you don't know the movie at all because you don't watch movies. But
God, Full Metal Jacket.
Where are you from, boy? Texas. I won't finish that one anyway, but. Oh my
Full
God.
Metal. No, I got the wrong one. Full Metal Jacket. What was the other one? Not Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket was when the gunny was in it.
Yeah, but that's the same one. Louisiana. That was same.
It is
movie. Yeah,
with Joker and Earth
Joker,
Mother and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Everyone remembers the first part with Gunny, but there's a whole part of the show after that.
I'm thinking it was the other. I thought Full Metal Jacket was with Elias and Charlie Sheen and.
No, that was.
I think that was Full Metal Jacket.
No. Can't remember.
All right, listeners, you got somebody help us out here.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't believe we don't remember this.
So anyway, tomorrow, in case you missed the beginning of the show, I'm going to be on Michael Bell from 10 to 10:30. KFYR 550.
Platoon was the Charlie Sheen one.
Okay, you're right. Yep, you got it right, Clay. I stand corrected. You are an oak.
And you know what? 2A701 is correct too. Nothing
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there but steers and queers. And you don't
So,
look
yeah,
like no steer.
I'm going to be on with Michael Bell tomorrow for a half hour, 10:30, KFYR 99.7 FM, but just get on iHeart and go ahead and listen on there.
And Michael, if you're listening, I'm not avoiding you. I saw the text, but Jamie responded first. I've been kind of busy down here.
I got a text here too, Platoon. So yeah, I'm getting my Nom Classic. I mean, which is dumb because I have freaking Platoon collector's edition DVD too. I feel bad.
Good movie. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. And of course, I'll be on Friday morning, 7:15 Mountain, 8:15 the Central Time. Sounds like I'm going to be on with Iron Mike the way it sounds.
Yeah. This should be a good show.
You know, hell.
Like last time you were on with them, Clay, like I said, we were surprised. Iron Mike is actually a pretty heavy Second Amendment dude.
He is, and I'm going to be sending him stuff yet tonight, so he's got a little time to review it. And I told him, I said, chime in. And it made for a pretty good show. I think it's always better than just somebody getting up there and just talking and reporting, because it's a lot more fun when you can have some dialogue.
Yeah, for sure. For sure it is. Yeah, everybody's giving me the Platoon. Oh, yeah, freaking.
We got great fans.
What is your major malfunction? Yeah.
Those two great movies, both of them.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, all-time classic.
And of course, right here, every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock.
Next Wednesday, Clay, who do we got coming on? We got a special guest.
Brand new ND, North Dakota GOP chairman. Mr.
Heavy Second Amendment fan.
Oh, Matt's great. Matthew's a great guy. In fact, I stayed at his place when we was up there for the state convention a couple of years ago. So.
By the way, can throw some weight around in the gym, too.
Yeah.
So if the leader of the NPL or whatever wants to go tangle with Matt, they're probably going to get tied in a pretzel real quick. So
really quick. And the best thing is they defeated they put up Shane Gettle, who's nothing but a Perry Schaefer guy, because Perry knew he probably couldn't win. That's in my district right away, and I can tell you right now, Perry's a dickhead, and he knows it.
Mr. Pronouns are mega.
What's that?
I don't know. I'm looking at the comment here.
Yeah, new channel. That was really easy to make. Okay. I don't understand it, but hey, whatever.
All right, Mr.
Matt's
Pronoun.
a beast. Yes, absolutely. Matt is a beast.
Yeah. Awesome, dude.
He's got a cool Mustang, too. He's in the cars, too. So
yeah, he definitely fixes
I think you and me and him and Ack could really have a good time. Probably David. David likes to work on them vehicles, too.
Absolutely.
By the way, we have solved the heating problem. It's my daily runner to the town now, and it's just getting better. The more I drive it, the better it gets. So
you got to get a burnout spot.
Yeah, it's not built for that.
Oh, that's right. You told me.
We'll build a different one for that.
So, next Wednesday, new GOP chairman, North Dakota, Matt Simon. And, of course, Clay, Wednesday after that, July 2nd, Great American Outdoor Show. Governor Kelly Armstrong is going to be back on with us. And Scott Bachmeyer from Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Yeah, that'll be a 2-hour show. It's going to be good. Guns, hunting.
Hell, I'm out.
Freedom. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one. It sounds like Kelly's. Well, I think Scott and Kelly are both excited to be on. So it's gonna be a good show. It'll be a good show. So we're gonna talk some hunting, shooting, and if I remember it, I just think Kelly was getting a new gun, but I don't remember.
He's got two of them. I said, make sure you come on. We want a full review on him. He's got a shotgun and a rifle.
Now I have a goal. I got to get up there and get my new gun from you, so I can go shoot it, so I can talk about my new gun.
Right.
I think I need to hang that gun in that 62 GMC.
Perfect.
Modern with the classic. I think it'd be perfect.
Perfect. I mean, the invention of that gun was actually older than the pickup.
That's right. Yeah, that pickup's 63 years old. So.
Right.
All right, everybody. Well, I don't have a whole lot more anymore tonight, so.
I don't either. So one more time, Clay, I'll be on with Michael Bell tomorrow, KFYR 550, 10:30. We're going to be talking big, beautiful Bill suppressors. Yep. Your sister says, "Si, my pronouns are mega, LOL." Come on now. That is funny.
There you go.
Love it. Love
heard
it.
that Jamie will arm wrestle Matt live. There we go.
Just slam his ass.
Hey,
There's no way I'm arm wrestling Matt. I'd like to keep my shoulder and my elbow intact.
I finally slipped back into my 37s, my pants. I haven't seen a 37-inch waist in
Awesome, man.
longer. So, yeah, I'm feeling good. So, give me time. I ain't no beast yet. I probably never will, but I definitely am thinner.
Well, when you get past 50, man, you don't worry about, you pretty much got to be in shape then and not worry about.
I'm married. What do I care? All right, everybody. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us and tuning in. This was kind of a fun show. I wasn't feeling it. I was kind of like a low energy Jeb, but feeling pretty good. So,
all right. So, yeah, I'm not arm wrestling Matt next Wednesday, but Matt is going to be on with us. Yeah.
All right, everybody. What do we say? Keep your powder dry. Oh, hey, before we end, I have Freedom Rod and Freedom Seed Delivery System tickets for everybody. Contact me. You know who I am. You're going to like this one, but we can't put it out here.
Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button.
Subscribe. And if you feel so inclined, go ahead and become a member at CommieTube.com, Guns in the 701. It's only $2.99. There are some higher levels. Go for it. Otherwise, you can hit the old QR code up there and make any donation you want.
Just
That's how we make this baby turn. So
$3 a month, man. There's not anybody. I mean,
for $3 a month, you can feed these orphans.
Hey, for $3 a month, you can keep the Second Amendment alive and well here in North Dakota and spread the message.
That's right. All right, everybody. Thank you. Oh wait, what did 2A say? He was bowl of grits will fix that. I'll tell you what. If we come over there, I expect grits.
Me too. I've never had them.
I've had them, and I was down south. I liked them, and of all places, I even eat them at a Waffle House. So we won't even get started on that, Leon. So,
perfect,
Leon. You know what? You need to go on our next hog hunt. I think that'd be great. Axe went. He had a good time. Jamie can always go. But
we're waiting for the 2A701 segment on Guns in the 701 freaking media stations.
There we go. Yeah, media stations across the nation. Tune in. Anyway. All right. We will call that a night. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you later.
See you next week.
Keep the powder dry.